Arash, you ever seen that documentary? We Are the World?
No, I have not.
You got to watch
It's
it.
actually it's a musical coming to Toronto actually about it next month
Really?
or something. It's all over my YouTube algorithm. I have no idea why.
Have you heard the
wants
song?
you to go.
I have heard the song.
Okay.
I'd like
you
Marty
put-
to sing it for us.
Have you played it recently at the gym? Is that why you're getting hit with all those ads? Just a nice slow walk?
You know what? I'm very flattered that you think I go to the gym.
You played tennis.
I play tennis. I like going to the gym to go to the sauna, you know?
Oh, the executive. We were talking about the executive earlier. Beautiful. And I will sing the song at some point if you want me. Curtis wouldn't do his Donald Trump last week. Chickened out on that. No, but it's you got to watch the documentary, and then if you go to the musical, let me know if there's a part of it where Waylon Jennings walks out, because then that'll make the whole thing even more realistic. Yeah. Oh yeah. How was your weekend?
Weekend was sensational, fellas. I gotta tell you, I'm very fortunate. First for play, then for work. Over the last 4 weeks, I got to Ford Field for Minnesota Detroit, and that place was rocking. But we arrived 4.5 hours before the game to Kansas City on Sunday to work it. There had to have been 35,000 people already in the parking lot. Like, you smelled charcoal everywhere. You smelled cigar smoke everywhere. It was Kansas City fans. It was Bills fans. The barbecues were wild. People were ready. And that stadium was rocking. An hour before kickoff.
What's your tunnel story?
So we had no idea where we were going, right? So it's a new stadium.
Best stories start with that line.
Right. There's 2 working elevators in the whole place. So come down. It's like, okay, there's 5 minutes left in the game, and I'm just looking for any kind of monitor because I'm watching the game in the press box. Come down, and I see it like towards the end of a hallway. You can tell you're by the Bills locker room. I see a monitor. So I just kind of stand at the end of the hallway, just kind of watching the end of the game. And my camera guy, Dean Garapi's beside me. And then the next thing you know, suddenly we're like, oh, well, okay, game ends, whatever. Then you see one Bills guy coming, and then another, and then another. And suddenly you're like, right, we're at the top of the tunnel, right beside the locker room. Sean McDermott looked like he saw a ghost. Josh Allen looked like he had no idea where he was. Big Dion Dawkins, all 335. Look at this. Josh, if you're watching on the stream, Josh is coming off the field as they're bringing the stage onto the field and then up that tunnel. We're kind of about 15 yards from there. Big Dion Dawkins, 335 pounds, tears in his eyes. James Cook was pissed. He threw his gloves. It hit Dean, my colleague. And you realize kind of in that moment, man, this is not going to go over well with these guys.
Excuse me, championship stage coming through. Shove over to the side.
Yeah. If you'd done something with 3.5 minutes to go, Josh, you would have been standing on top of the stage, Josh.
I'm going to throw this to you. Then Harry, you can go. I thought once again, I shouldn't say once again because I'm not a huge Buffalo insider. I don't know. They were badly outcoached once again, I think.
I agree with that. I thought Andy Reid outcoached himself in the third quarter. I thought his play calling on offense was garbage. But Buffalo had to bring their A game to beat them, and they brought their B- game. There were a lot of guys who weren't sharp. Josh Allen among them. Right out of the gate, 2 overthrows. He drops a shotgun pass on 2nd and 5, which then turns into 3rd and 9. He missed Curtis Samuel coming over the middle, which would have been like a 40-yard gain. And yeah, coaching was a big part of it. McDermott's challenge, McDermott's play calling out of timeouts, just refusing to budge off the tush push when it wasn't working. I thought across the board, Buffalo didn't play at a championship level. And to win on the road in the playoffs against Kansas City, no less, you have to play at a championship level. They just didn't.
I wasn't up in Saskatoon watching it with my 84-year-old mother, but I'm almost positive she would have called the blitz coming at the end there.
Yeah. I mean, I think everybody knew. And that's Steve Spagnuolo's DNA. And there's no help there. There's not an extra running back to pick somebody up. Like, they brought 8, including a corner blitz, a weak side corner blitz from Trent McDuffie. And then the linebacker, George Karlaftis, was the one who got home. And people are saying, okay, Kincaid didn't make the catch. Well, he's running the opposite way. It's coming. The fact that you don't have anybody back there to try and pick somebody up to give your offense a fighting chance, that goes back to, Barney, what you were talking about and the poor coaching.
Was this Buffalo's best shot to get to the Super Bowl? Are they going to be heard from next year? Are they losing? Was this it?
I don't know if it's it. The problem is you have to start all over again. You got to start with mini camps. You got to start with OTAs. You got to do the whole off-season program. You got to go through training camp. You play a preseason, an entire schedule. Like, you don't pick up where you left off. And I thought of all the years, and I know some of the other games were closer and Buffalo may have had a better shot in the game of winning. I thought this team had the best chance to beat Kansas City, to finally beat the champs, to unseat them. And if they played the level of football that they did at home against KC to end their undefeated season in November, I think it's a different story. They just didn't play well. And I think that's why there was so much anger, shock, emotion, all those things up that tunnel, is because I think a lot of them realized, damn, maybe this was our best chance. Maybe this was our best shot.
Why shouldn't I loathe Patrick Mahomes?
What's to dislike about him?
Can I go?
Dives. Okay. Seems to get calls.
Yeah, but that's not his fault.
Hey, I'm not inside the ropes. I don't know. 3, the guys around him, Kelsey.
You're searching for stuff here, Barney. Like, this is it. Like, he is. How about this?
Never beat Tom there.
So, like, if this shocked me, and I know it shouldn't have, because, like, I can't do math that well, but I do remember Patrick Mahomes being drafted in 2017. Like, Patrick Mahomes is not 30 years old yet. Like, think about that. He is 29 years old, and already he has the second most playoff wins of any quarterback in NFL history. He is 17-3 in the postseason. And I think Sunday was an illustration. Say what you will about the dives. Here's Mahomes, who's had a bad ankle for 2 years. He's running around. He's sacrificing his body to make plays. He was able to improvise. He was able to use his brain. He was able to use his legs. And, oh, yeah, his arm, too. He does so many things well and so many things right on the football field. And there's only 2 quarterbacks who have ever beaten him in January or February, and that's Tom Brady and Joe Burrow.
One played when it was a man's game too. Harry, what were you going to say?
Well, I think the thing that bugs me, I mean, I really don't have a horse in the race or a dog in the fight, but if you're playing devil's advocate, one of the arguments against Mahomes could be, I think, is it's just so much, so quickly. The rest of the team around him, the coaching staff that he's had guide him along the way, all of that seems to just get put on the back burner, and it's just, Patrick's a god. The gods reached down when he was 7 and turned his right arm into a thunderbolt. Like, I feel like it's just too much.
So, it's an interesting
there's other people that deserve credit.
But let me say this. When you think about the Oilers of the 80s, who brings up Esa Tikkanen? Who brings up Yari Curry? When you think about the Bulls of the 90s, who's talking about John Paxson?
I am, because he hit that 3 against Phoenix. But the Oilers thing, I don't think that argument has validity, because you can name 10 guys that people talk about on that team. It's not just Wayne. It's not just Messier. It's Curry. It's Coffey. It's Grant Fuhr. You can go up and down that roster. So I don't think.
But
that's
everybody
a fair
talks about 99. But everybody talks about 99.
Yeah, but he also is the all-time leading scorer in the league
for now,
and he had a 20-year career.
So let me bring up this then. How about Pittsburgh? Outside of Crosby and Malkin, that's who you identify with. Like, nobody talks about Marc-Andre Fleury. Nobody talks about Chris Letang.
But that's the beauty of the Pittsburgh thing, is that those guys did it. And to a lesser extent, it's the Tom Brady legacy. Tom Brady did it with patchwork teams year after year after year after year. They had a hole, they filled it with somebody.
Whoa.
Kind of true.
Did Tom Brady have the same roster year after year on all his Super Bowl wins?
No football team has the same roster every year. When you think about the first three Super Bowls, not even close. When you think about the first 3 Super Bowls Tom won, okay? Richard Seymour, Mike Vrabel, Ted Johnson, Teddy Bruschi, Ty Law, Lawyer Malloy. That's not patchwork. Like,
that's defensive side of the ball. I'm talking offensive side of the ball, because we always talk about Mahomes' offense.
Right.
And I don't even go back to the old Brady, like the first 2. Like, you look at the last ones that he won, it's like Rex Burkhead. Who?
Yeah.
And some Henry guy. The guy, like
Hunter Henry, yeah.
And Edelman was a quarterback. Didn't Henry play lacrosse?
Yeah, maybe.
He was a lacrosse player in college.
Didn't they find Gronk in some kind of zoo? Yeah, like, I get it.
But to go back to your analogy, like, Pittsburgh had, like, Sidney and Malkin won with Maxim Talbot and Pascal Dupuis, and like they just filled holes with these, but there was those guys that carried the mail. I just don't feel like Patrick Mahomes deserves all the credit, and that he gets all the credit.
No, but the quarterback always does, and the quarterback always gets all the blame. Like, right now in Buffalo, it's still 17 didn't get it done. Again, Lamar didn't get it done again. But I would say this. If you watch that game on Sunday, who was the most important player on the field for Kansas City not named Patrick Mahomes?
Worthy.
Okay.
Chris Jones.
So you have rookie receiver. Isaiah Pacheco is a 7th-round pick. Kareem Hunt a couple of years ago was playing in Cleveland. P. Ryan's a nobody. Like, he's got very little to work with. You want to talk about patchwork? Kelsey caught 3 balls on the night?
2, I think.
They made it. What's that?
3.
2, I think.
Yeah, 2. They made it work. They're making it work with very little. And I almost find, if you look at that KC offensive roster, that year after year is declining. Like, they had Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce at one point. And now the number 1 receiver is a rookie. I think it's just, I think it's pretty remarkable what they're able to do with the little talent that they have.
Chris Hogan. That was the guy I was thinking of.
Oh, Chris
Patriots.
Hogan.
Man, whatever happened to that guy? He literally played 5 good games.
David Givens was catching touchdowns in Super Bowls. Yeah.
Yeah, no, let me hate him. You hate... he's my Kirk Cousins.
Come on. I hate Kirk because he doesn't win. All Mahomes does is win.
What I would like to know how he would have done early 2000s, shoot, even up to 2010 in that league.
Getting the snot beat out of him every snap.
Oof.
It is funny though that it is funny that you have disdain for him considering you're a Tom Brady guy. So you have to know what it's like to have everybody on the planet hate your guy.
Abs, that's why I ask everyone the question. Who do you hate more? I haven't asked you this question yet. Do you despise the Brady back then or what's happening now with the Chiefs?
No, I would say it's recency bias because it's happening now. I would say I respect Tom's full body of work over his entire career. I just feel it's just so much so quickly for Mahomes, and it's just kind of like oversaturation. I don't know. Recency bias.
I get, like, for me, it's different. I just think watching greatness is amazing. And I find that when you have a phenom like this, it's not until it's all over that you start to appreciate it and say, wow, that was a heck of a run. Like, you're just watching what these guys are doing year after year after year. It's amazing. Like,
you know who I don't despise? And if you want to watch greatness, you got to go to that musical that's coming. But who I really have respect for is Spags.
Yeah.
And Andy Reid.
Yeah.
For some reason, I cannot just hate those guys. Mahomes, Kelsey, they're on the hate pile.
Okay, let's just tie the bow with this. Like, this is what I mean by greatness. Like, think of all of pro sports over the years. Players to win 4+ championships and 2+ MVPs before the age of 30. All time. Okay? In hockey, it's Gretzky, Gordie Howe, and Guy Lafleur. In baseball, it's Yogi Berra, Joe DiMaggio, and Mickey Mantle. All time. Basketball, Magic Johnson, Bill Russell. In the NFL, it's nobody. Except if Patrick Mahomes wins next Sunday. And then he enters that stature, that status, that category. 4+ championships, 2+ MVPs before the age of 30. No one's ever done it. And this guy is on the doorstep of it.
We don't go to Tiger? Golf and tennis excluded?
Yeah, team sports, right?
Okay. I'm just asking.
Yeah.
I didn't know the parameters. I like to circumvent things.
There's one championship a year in team sports. There's 4 major championships a year.
What's the deal with talk about a lot of hype with Taylor Elgersma? Like, he's at the Senior Bowl. I see him all over social media today. Is it a real deal here?
Taylor Elgersma is like 6'5", 6'6". He's got a wingspan. He's got huge hands. He's got arm strength, and he can deliver the football. And here we have a quarterback, not just a Canadian quarterback, but a Canadian university sport quarterback who came up in the high school system here. It's not like he went to a U.S. prep school. It's not like he went to an NCAA program. If you're watching on the stream, that's with Wilfrid Laurier. Took him to a Vanier Cup for the first time in 20 years this past November. And guys, if he does okay at the Senior Bowl, I bet he's going to be at the Combine in April in Indianapolis. And there's a real shot, not that he's just going to get, a camp opportunity. There's a shot that if Elgersma does well this week in practices and ultimately in the Senior Bowl game, if he shows up okay at the Combine, there's a shot he gets drafted as a quarterback into the National Football League. There's a real chance there. So that's what makes this wild.
Which is insane.
Yeah.
Considering, like, Canadians in the NFL isn't a new thing, but Canadian quarterbacks sure as hell is.
And how do you compare, like, the hardest thing to do here, for those watching on the stream, that's Nathan Rourke when he was with Jacksonville. But Nathan Rourke went to a Division I U.S. school. So he's going like it's on a different field with different rules, different number of players on the field. How do you now project what a quarterback is going to do on a smaller field? How do you project what Division I talent is if you're an NFL talent evaluator? It's hard to really look at a Canadian tape and say, okay, well, can he make this throw? Can he make that throw against what kind of competition? So that's why the Senior Bowl week is so important for Elgersma, and that's why the Combine is going to be so important for Elgersma, because there's a real limited chance for him to show in front of people what he can do on a U.S. field against U.S. competition.
Why didn't he go to a U.S. prep school and thus U.S. college?
I don't know enough about his backstory, but I'm going to dig into it. I'm not sure. It's a good question. I tell you what, man, that performance, those performances he had in the playoffs, to beat Western, to win the Yates Cup, the Ontario Championship, to get Laurier to a national title game, and he played well in the Vanier. It's going to be really interesting.
Okay, I'm going to save all gambling talk for next week. You're with Maz on Thursday, so don't be talking too much about gambling. We'll save it for next week. Philip Dorsett, there's another beauty that Tom Brady got to throw to in a Super Bowl. Oh yeah, Colson, you just jump in whenever. This is your show. Colson wants to play something from how many months ago?
November 19th. Let's see if Curtis can find the footage, but there was a bunch of us in the studio here, and we did some predictions about who would knock off the Chiefs in the playoffs. And so, yeah, Curtis.
I remember that day.
Curtis, run the film here.
What team eliminates Kansas City in the playoffs?
Oof.
First to you.
I'll take the Steelers. Pains me to say this. We saw it this weekend. I think the Bills are finally going to get back to the Super Bowl this year.
Curtis, Colson, you guys can play along. Curtis, do you even know who's in the league?
I'm a big Chiefs fan, baby.
Okay, you take the Chiefs. Hey, ride or die, right? Sheriff?
I'm going to go with the Bills because of Josh Allen.
Okay.
Let's go the Eagles.
In the Super Bowl.
Super Bowl.
Arash?
I'm going to go off the board here, guys. I'm going with the once San Diego, now Los Angeles Superchargers.
Wow, good call.
Arash is going Chargers, so I want to take something totally different. I'll go Baltimore. So we all got something different. And then a round of Lucky Loggers, and what is it?
Lucky Loggers and Western Pizza. Come on now.
Okay,
here we go.
We'll go. You and I are going double or nothing because you already owe me. So
yeah, there you go.
All right. Okay.
So I'm just really amused that the two non-sports producer guys here are the ones that are closest to being right now.
Don't admit that. People think you know your stuff. Act like you don't need the stuff, and they give you the stuff for free.
It's amazing. There's like 6 different picks, and then like we're just down to the last one. Like it's just one after another, like a bowling pin.
I'm trying to wonder how many people were in the studio that day. What was going on?
Yeah,
like 7 of us.
Yeah.
I think there were like 3 Timbits or something being given out, so everybody ran in. Yeah.
Okay, buddy. You're with Maz on Thursday. We'll catch up next week.
All right, see you, boys.